Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So I haven't actually done a video like this in such a long time, like an actual Q&A, but last time I did one I didn't have as many subscribers as I do now, and it was like a really requested video to do like a more personal video. So I thought I'd just do that. I've got so many questions and I've like dialed it down to like fewer. I've dialed down to fewer questions, and I've kind of like put them, kind of like a real like OCD kind of person, I've put them into like their categories of which they fit into. So it's kind of like some questions might blur into one, but I'm just going to go straight into it. So, hi Lisa, absolutely love what you do. What are your life goals? Wow, that's a very broad question. Life goals, I want to be super happy. I'm in a really happy stage of my life at the moment. Like everything's going really well. I am quite busy and stressed and things, but I'm really happy. So life goals, to be happy, to be successful in, I guess, like the fitness industry, and I'm a very optimistic person, but I guess like be one of the biggest people out there who is able to communicate with individuals and actually give them like really insightful information, and just be someone that people can go to for help and things. I want to change people's lives, basically. That's what I want to do. That's my life goal, to help as many people as possible in the best way possible and change their life. Are you an argumentative person? Literally not at all. I've never really been up for having those massive arguments where people like shouting in each other's faces. I'm just honestly the worst with conflicts and things. If I need to, the only situation where I would probably be quite argumentative is if I was sticking up for a friend and I needed to have their back on something and they needed that bit of extra support. But getting angry over little things, I don't really do anymore. I've just finished actually listening to the audiobook, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and that book is fantastic. I would highly recommend it to read, and it's just like going over things that you shouldn't really like worry about too much. But I don't want to get a camel though. But no, I'm not really an argumentative person. Have you ever been in a relationship? Yes. I've linked all these questions in because there were quite a few. Do you have a boyfriend? No, I do not have a boyfriend. Would you keep a relationship private in the future, or is it something you would show on social media? I think it's quite difficult when you start doing things on social media and then you have a relationship as well, because it's nice to keep like personal life and like social media life separate. But I don't think it really bothers me, and like I'm the type of person who would want to show my other half off, I guess. But in future, like I haven't really thought about that too much. It doesn't really, like social media, like I love social media, it's great, but then also it can be really bad and people get involved in things and everything like that. But I would probably just, it's everyday life, and I just bring it in to everyday life like a relationship, so it would be on social media. Has social media ever made you feel really insecure about yourself? Do you ever compare yourself to people? That is a fab question. Yeah, social media has made me feel insecure about myself, and I think this is initially when I first got into the industry. You naturally compare yourself to everyone, anyone, and how well they're doing in comparison to what you're doing, and it's difficult because some people just excel and it just flies and like it's incredible, and then obviously you compare, you naturally, this is like a natural human instinct, you compare your body to other people's bodies. It only made me feel insecure because in my head, I don't know if this is like a thing that like a lot of girls feel, or maybe like guys feel as well, but you compare yourself to someone else and you don't think you're ever going to get there, and essentially you're never going to look exactly like someone else. And that's something that I've learned over the years, to love your body as it is and how it's going to grow and develop, and each body will grow and develop differently from one body to another, one body to the next. But there were times where I'd constantly compare myself to people. This led to a dramatic weight loss. I didn't really have any shape to my body 2.5 years ago when I started training. Social media does play an effect in it, and I guess I still do it a little bit now, only if I'm having like a really bad day, or I'm just like stressed or something like that. And then naturally, I think when you're feeling a little bit low in yourself and you're not as positive as you usually are, you will naturally compare yourself with the people. You'll think, oh my god, they're doing so well and things like that, but then you don't know what's going on in their life. like they might be having like a personal issue, they might be really stressed. When people slate other people in the industry, I absolutely hate it. Like, let them do what they want to do. If you don't agree with it, okay, like you don't agree with it, that's absolutely fine. Just let them do what they want to do. You don't need to bring other people down. This is why I've kind of stopped comparing myself to anyone and everyone, because like even if you don't know someone, surely you should just be like, yeah, they're doing really great at what they're doing, like I need to focus on what I'm doing, because like every individual has like a different like a different route, a different path, I guess. But no, I used to compare myself a lot. It did used to make me feel quite bad about myself, but yeah, I've come to terms with that. I'm absolutely fine about it now. Why are your abs always there? I don't know. I have a good diet. I do have quite a good diet, and I always have since I was a swimmer. But I think this is purely because of my swimming background though, because I've been brought up in, since I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, in like an athletic environment around swimmers who eat well, and obviously you fuel your body to train and things. So I learnt it from a very young age about nutrition, but completely now my diet is really flexible. I don't count my macros unless it's before an event or I'm wanting to cut down a little bit. I've never really done like a massing phase. I've never cut down to like 1,200 calories, 1,300 calories. I'm pretty much at maintenance at the moment. So essentially I'm just maintaining my stomach and my abs at the same time whilst like growing my glutes and things. I think it's just because I have such a high protein diet as well. I'm still eating everything and anything. I have a chocolate caramel egg every single day. I've had that for like the past like 5 weeks now, 4 or 5 weeks. When Easter comes up and they stop doing them, it's gonna break my heart a bit, so I'm gonna have to stock up. But I'm never really too strict on myself. I think that's one of the things, if you restrict yourself so much, and this is something I have struggled with. So actually this was one of the questions that related to nutrition. Have you ever struggled with nutrition? So with the abs question, I completely struggled with nutrition. When I first got into training, I didn't know what to eat. I went through the phase that I think quite a lot of people do go through, which is like a binge cycle phase where, well, this was personal to me. I'd crave something, so I'd eat really well for like 3 days, and I'd crave something ridiculously bad. I'm not 3 days, like 4 or 5 days. Crave something, eat it, have like one chocolate bar, but then eat the pack, then go to the cupboards, then demolish the cupboards, then the ice cream, then everything else, and then obviously the next day I wouldn't want to eat. So I wouldn't eat the next day that much, or I'd have like very minimal, do loads of like cardio and things, try and get really sweaty in the gym, drink loads of water. The water thing is something I still do after a cheat meal and stuff, just because I feel like my body needs it. But I completely go back to normal eating. But I did really struggle with nutrition with the whole binge cycle thing. I wasn't really sure what to eat from going from a swimmer who trained 9 times a week to then going to the gym 6 times a week. It was very different. Obviously the training is completely different as well. Obviously over the years I've learned different things. I've got qualifications now. I'm much more educated in the area of nutrition, so I think that's massively helped me on knowing what to eat. I feel like I answered that question so poorly and it was all mixed around, I'm sorry. Best place you've ever travelled? Australia, 100%. Australia is one of my favourite places. It's very like health and fitness like orientated, and it was so nice to be in the sun all the time, work out outdoors. There's avocado everywhere. It was just avocado like on toast. It's like, I swear they use that instead of butter. But I'm definitely going to go back to Australia. Another question was travel plans. 100% want to go to Bali or Fiji. That's the next thing that I really want to do. Training split. I've just written training split down, but I think everyone's just like, what's your training split? How do you train? Because I've had this question so many times. And I did have a video about my training split, and it is on YouTube, but it's old. It's wrong. It's not true anymore. I should probably take it down. My training split at the moment, it is kind of like a push-pull, glute, leg kind of split. So I'll just give you an example of my week. So Monday is hamstring focus, a lot of explosive movements for my hamstrings with some glute elements. Now the glute elements are just like pumper exercises, so frog pumps, glute bridges, knee banded glute bridges, dual banded hip thrusts, and they're at the end of my hamstring workout. Tuesday is my pull session. I do back and buys. I don't actually do rear delts in this session, but it's back and buys. Sometimes do a HIIT workout or a WOD as well. Wednesday is my rest day, but I've kind of been doing mobility and things. Thursday is my favourite day because it's just glutes, completely glute focused, very heavy hip thrusts. Friday is push, so I don't do chest that often, that's about every 2 weeks, but it's very shoulder based and do triceps. I also do an upper body hit session or a WOD. Saturday is legs, but this is very quad focused session, and Sunday is kind of a rest day. It's kind of like Wednesday though, they switch around, so it's either a rest day or I'll do a full body hit with no equipment because I love getting super sweaty, I love feeling really active, or I'll do something that really challenges myself and makes my heart just beat so quick it's literally gonna burst. No, it's not, it's a lie. Next question, what do I study at university? So I'm currently doing a course called Management, Leadership and Leisure, which is basically a BA Honours in Business Management and Events. So there's like a couple of questions around uni. Do I regret going to uni? It's difficult. I don't regret it at all. Not at all. I think it's one of the best experiences. You become so independent. Obviously you live away from home, you meet the most amazing people. Like, I've met my bestest friends, they all mean so much to me. I think the course that I do is very good because I've learned so much over the 3 years in terms of business based things, but obviously I only started getting into the health and fitness everything around 2 years ago. In hindsight, I would have loved to do a nutrition based thing or even like sports science or something like that, but I'm doing those on top of what I do now anyway, so I guess it isn't a bad thing. And I got a massive believer in everything happens for a reason. You seem like such a busy person. How are you dealing with all the stress? Now, all the stress, I read an amazing quote and I can't remember who it's by, but it basically says that you're stressed about something that you don't enjoy, and stress needs to be differentiated from being passionate about something. I'm very passionate about anything to do with health and fitness. Like, you have to be passionate about something to want to do it as frequently as people in this industry do it. So I post content every day on Instagram because I enjoy it and I love it. I love editing, I love getting content out for you guys. So I don't look at that as anything like stress. Like, my online coaching, it's not stressful. My clients are incredible. I love speaking to people, and like I said at the start, I want to change people's lives. That's what I want to do. In terms of stress at university, it does get on top of me a little bit just because I am in my final year and there is quite a lot of work to do, but I'm quite an organised person. This is the best thing I think I've ever purchased in my whole entire life. It's like you lay out your day, but it's very top tasks, rewards for doing this, reminders, health and well-being actions, your self-development. So it's very like, I'm quite into like mindset and things. Like, I had the whole positive mindset, this and that, and I've always been into that since I started getting into the industry. The targets that I set myself each week are quite optimistic, but I try my best to get to them, and every day I do note down in terms of dissertation what needs to be done. I completely lost my phone. That was so extra. And I guess I do get stressed. I get stressed, but I just think the best thing that I do is I write everything down, allocate the most important tasks, who can help me with something else. So I'm really lucky now that my job, so I'm an online coach as well as like the influence and everything like that in uni, and I work with two amazing guys, Ben and Sam helps me loads with my videos, the photos, and Ben obviously with the coaching. So I've got the best people around me, and if you always let people know how you are, you're going to help yourself, basically. So final question, do I get gym anxiety, and if you do, how do you deal with gym anxiety? I get bad gym anxiety, I really do. I think it's with me, it also doesn't matter who you are, like anybody can get gym anxiety, like guys, girls, if you're in the industry, if you're not in the industry, I feel like anyone can get gym anxiety. Now, I get it when the gym's really busy, or I'm filming a workout and there's like loads of people staring at me, and it puts you off and things. So to answer the question, yeah, I do get gym anxiety, and how to deal with it, I have my headphones in. I kind of have like a very like a mellow face. I've got a very like plain face at the gym, and I kind of just like, unless I'm like speaking to people, like walking past, like smiling at people, but when I'm like doing an exercise and training, I just solely focus on that. Like, I don't look around me. If there's people staring, like if I'm probably doing a weird exercise at the end of the day, I always think that to myself, like, Lucy, they'll be looking, you're doing a weird exercise. I do weird exercises, I do it all the time, but it's just trying to have the mentality of thinking they're probably just looking at what you're doing. So that is my personal Q&A. I know that was so random, and there was so many like random questions like built into one. But and I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question. If you want to comment anything below, or like message me, Instagram, anything interested in online coaching, all the links are below. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it and got to know me a little bit better, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.